Hey guys, Big Weir, roadtoroot.com. Let's talk silver and gold price manipulation. I haven't dealt with this in so long, but the story's the same. At times of stress in the economy, the manipulation of gold and silver is absolute, 100%. They cannot have gold and silver prices rise when they're supposed to rise. Otherwise, people would think, oh my God, there is an alternative to the US dollar. So yes, there's massive manipulation going on in gold and silver. Here's one guy who's following it, not the gold and silver, but what's going on in Turkey. It's a big deal. So yeah, this guy Matt O'Brien's pretty good, although he works for the Washington Post. But he's at least keeping track of it. Go check out his Twitter feed. Some really good articles there. But the pretty much anybody can stand back and see, there's huge problems in the monetary system. And gold and silver bugs are jumping up and down saying, oh my God, how is it allowed that with these gigantic problems in the gold and silver market, that gold and silver isn't rising, isn't jumping on the news? Let's take a look how and why. So here's the price of silver over the past, this is gold, price of gold over the past month. Absolutely getting destroyed ever since, they really started heating up in Turkey. It should go the other way. The contagion attached to the Turkey situation is huge. Could destroy the whole monetary system. Gold should be going up, but it is not. Same with silver. Silver should be going up, but it is not. It is being slammed down at the very time the reason for holding gold and silver should shine the most. Now let's talk about how this is done and why. Here's how it's done and why. This is the CME, where the price of silver is determined. There's only 2 exchanges in the world for physical silver. And I'm just going to talk about silver now. Gold, you guys, it's pretty much the same story. But the 2 exchanges are the CME, which is the COMEX, and the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, in the US and in the UK. It's the only places in the world where supposedly you can get physical silver in, and basically the only places that silver is priced. So let's take a look at how they do this. How is it that they can take a very rare precious metal and drive it down to nothing? Let's look at Friday's trade. If you go down here, I'm on the CME market data volume open interest. Now these, every silver contract is 5,000 ounces of silver. So here's the silver contracts right here, futures, options, and then it's split out. It comes to about 103 million ounces were traded on Friday. 103 million contracts, contracts. So you take 103 million, I got my trusty HP12C, and you times it by 5,000. You got 500, a little over 500 million ounces of physical silver was traded on the COMEX. Is that insane or what? That's Friday. That's just a normal day. And you're like, wait a minute. 500 million ounces of silver was traded? I thought they were only mining, 800 million ounces? And yet, in one day, more than half is traded? How is that even legal? And who is doing these trades? Who has that kind of money? It's not hedging. We know that. Where is the CFTC? Where is Mr. Giancarlo, who was claimed to be, oh, yeah, he's on our side? Bullshit. I call bullshit. All right, let's run the numbers. So what? Half billion ounces here of electronic contracts. So what? Let's times that by 250 trading days a year. That's 128 billion with a B ounces of silver trade that will, if this average stays about average, 128 billion ounces of silver traded on the COMEX. And you wonder why the silver price is rigged and how they do it. They trade back and forth to each other if they don't like the price. It's all done with computers and derivatives. I've proven it 100 times. That's what root A stands for. It's part of a programming language written by Greenspan in the 1960s. But it's not just the COMEX. That's the major one. But look at this. Let's look at the LBMA. Well, what is the LBMA? It's an association. It's not an exchange. That's your first problem right there. But look at their daily averages. And it's really interesting because they have less, or at least it shows less, 229 million ounces on average for the month of June. And you can see it fluctuates from 200. It looks like July will probably be a lot higher, as I would assume it would be. But let's just say that the low price of 229. 229 million times 250 is another 57 million ounces. But is that right? No. These are net. These are net transfers. They call them transfers. It's not really physical. It's a book. It's their book. They pass it back and forth. It's on your book. No, my book. Your book. They even say it up here in the description. Listen to the description. The 5 members of the LPMCL are, well, if you want to know the criminal banks, HSBC, ICBC, Standard Bank, that's like Standard Chartered, we know they're criminal, JP Morgan, of course, Scotiabank, and UBS. The data is collected and published on a monthly basis and is based on daily averages. The statistics include local London transfers from one party in a clearing member's books to another party in the same member's books. So it's just a paper entry, as well as physical transfers and shipments by clearing members and transfers over clearing members' accounts at the Bank of England. So the Bank of England is counting their inventory as well in this. And here it comes. The statistics exclude allocations for LPMCL clearing members with the sole purpose is to reduce overnight credit exposures and physical movements arranged by clearing members in locations other than London. Now, wait a minute. So the sole purpose is to reduce overnight exposures? Will they just take them off the books at midnight when they have to record this stuff? That's criminality at its finest. But look at the transfers again, 229 million. You know, it's less than what the COMEX is doing, or is it? Because 229 is net transfers. That is net. And so we're trying to find out how much gross happens every day. All we have to do is go to their monthly magazine. This was published a long time ago by Peter Smith, the JP Morgan market rigger of gold and silver, talking about Loco London. This is back in the 90s when they had to say that there was more trading going on. Now they're pretending there's less. But let's look at what he says about the volumes. And there he is, Peter Smith. He's probably long gone by now. We are confident that the reported statistics are not overinflated. However, it should be pointed out that as virtually all gold and silver wholesale traders net all their trades for the same value date with each of their counterparties, the clearing statistics mask the actual underlying value of daily local London trading, OTC trading. In my opinion, the numbers are probably understated by as much as a factor of 3 times, or possibly even more during busy markets, periods of high volatility in the market. So Peter Smith, the guru of gold and silver rigging, says these numbers are understated by a factor of 3. So there we are. So 3 times that is pretty much what you get on the COMEX as well. 171 billion ounces a year. Billion with a B. So that's over 300 billion ounces of silver derivatives traded every year. That is insane. Absolutely insane. But it's allowed. And that's a problem. So that's how they rig the markets. That's how they rig the silver market. So anybody saying, oh my God, Turkey's imploding, gold and silver will go crazy. No, it's not going to go crazy until the rigging ends. That day, it'll go crazy. Absolutely crazy. 150 years of price suppression. But until that day comes, you're going to get crap like this. The world's imploding. The nuclear bomb could go off, and the price of gold and silver will go down that day. It is ridiculous. Weir, roadtoroota.com. Stay tough out there. We're going to beat these bastards. Talk to you later. One more thing. If you are interested in subscribing to the Road to Roota letters, go to roadtoroota.com, hit subscribe, and you will get sent for 1 year subscription the most beautiful silver coin you've ever seen in your life. It's the Ruda coin, 1 ounce silver. Each of them is individually numbered. You can see the Cave of Gold and the Grand Canyon, the Silver Brick Road, and you get 10 Theta tokens. I know a lot of people that aren't into cryptos are real excited when they get their first crypto on a paper wallet. They don't have to even worry about getting it from an exchange. So check it out, roadtoruda.com. Go to subscribe today, and you can find out more about joining the Road to Ruda. I'll talk to you guys later.